Everyone thinks a 5G hotspot is the only smart move in 2026, but here is the thing. A well-tuned 4G Huawei E5785 can actually win where it matters most: consistency, battery life, and usable speed when networks get messy. Wait, a 4G box beating shiny new 5G? That sounds wrong. But after 3 weeks of real-world testing across 4 cities, 3 carriers, and over 120 speed runs, the E5785 did something I did not expect. It outperformed my budget 5G hotspot in average throughput across a full day, and it kept my video calls smooth when my phone tethering choked. Stick around, because I am going to show the one setting where it smoked my 5G device, the annoying flaw that almost killed it for me, and the simple tweak that doubled its reach. Cut to B-roll of the E5785, close-up on the screen and ports. Before we dive into what I discovered, if you are already convinced and want to grab the E5785 at the best current price, I have the link below. But do not click off yet, because what I found about its real-world performance might save you from buying the wrong hotspot. I needed a fix for a very specific pain. I work on the go. Train rides, hotel rooms, crowded co-working spaces, and home when the family is streaming everything at once. Tethering off my phone was a mess. It roasted my battery, overheated in 20 minutes, and my VPN randomly dropped mid-call. I tried a cheap Cat 4 hotspot last year. It managed 12 to 20 Mbps on a good day and collapsed in busy areas. Then I borrowed a budget 5G hotspot. Great peak speed in one spot, but the battery tanked by lunch and it would bounce between 5G and 4G like a yo-yo. So I grabbed the Huawei E5785, a 4G LTE Cat 6 unit rated up to 300 Mbps down, 50 Mbps up, dual-band Wi-Fi, and support for up to 16 devices. Skeptical? Absolutely. Hopeful? Also yes. Test 1. Speed and stability across real locations. In a downtown site with strong mid-band LTE, the E5785 consistently hit 85 to 168 Mbps down and 25 to 42 Mbps up with 28 to 35 ms ping. My phone tether on the same SIM averaged 52 to 110 Mbps with more jitter. But then, on a packed lunchtime network, the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi link inside the cafe got congested, and my throughput dipped under 30 Mbps. Switching the E5785 to 5 GHz instantly bounced it back to 90 plus. Note to self: keep it on 5 GHz when possible. B-roll, on-screen speed tests side by side. Test 2. The commute. On a regional train, I parked the E5785 by the window with a short USB power bank. It held 30 to 60 Mbps most of the route, enough for a 1080p stream and a Slack call. My budget 5G hotspot would jump into 5G for a burst, then back to 4G with big latency spikes. The E5785 was boringly steady, but then we hit a fringe area. Signals dropped and the E5785 fell to 6 to 12 Mbps. I popped on a pair of TS9 clip antennas, and the RSRP improved from about -108 dBm to -95 dBm. Speeds climbed to 20 to 35 Mbps. That was the difference between a stuttering call and a usable one. Visual, close-up of the TS9 ports under the flap. Test 3. Battery and thermals. The E5785 uses roughly a 3000 mAh battery. In my mixed-use test, 1 laptop, 1 phone, 1 tablet, light streaming, periodic uploads, it ran 9 hours 30 minutes before hitting 5%. Continuous stress with a big download plus a Zoom call, 7 hours 40 minutes. It recharged in about 2 hours 40 minutes via 5V2A micro USB. It got warm to the touch, peaking around 42 degrees Celsius on the surface, but never throttled or shut down. Compare that to my phone hotspot that begged for mercy after 90 minutes. Test 4. Multi-device and range. Huawei claims up to 16 devices. I connected 11 at once: a 4K TV, 2 laptops, 2 phones, a Switch update, and a handful of tablets. Total throughput held around 120 Mbps on 5 GHz until the network itself congested. Past 12 devices, latency spikes started. Range-wise, 2.4 GHz reached 2 rooms through 2 interior walls, while 5 GHz was great in the same room and fine through 1 wall. Put it near the door in hotels and it covers the whole room. Visual, apartment floor plan overlay with signal heat map. Management and usability. It is plug-and-play with most carriers, auto-sets APNs, and you can manage it from the Highlink app or the web UI at 192.168.8.1. You get data counters, SMS inbox, Wi-Fi band selection, and basic firewall settings. It supports USB tethering to a laptop for slightly lower latency. But here is the rub. It is micro USB, not USB-C. The UI feels dated, there is no WPA3, and you cannot reliably lock specific bands without third-party tricks. Also, band support varies by model, so check your carrier frequencies. Visual, quick swipe through settings. Here's the twist I did not expect. Over a full workday with normal movement, cafe to train to parking, the E5785 delivered higher average throughput and lower jitter than my budget 5G hotspot. Why? Consistency. LTE Cat6 carrier aggregation with sane power draw beats flaky 5G on a weak anchor band. I ran 120 speed tests, logged pings, and recorded 10 Zoom calls across 20 hours of screen time. The E5785 kept me connected without the drama. Against a premium router like a Netgear Nighthawk M1 or M2, it cannot match peak speeds or feature depth, obviously, but it is a third of the price, smaller, and quiet in your bag. Versus a cheap Cat4 dongle, it is night and day. And the hotel trick helped. Using Wi-Fi extender mode, I tied the E5785 into hotel Wi-Fi, then shared a cleaner private network for my devices and logged in once through the portal. That alone saved me from juggling multiple logins on a red-eye. Too good to be true? Not quite. If your carrier relies heavily on bands the E5785 variant you buy does not support, you will be disappointed. It also lacks Ethernet, the screen is tiny, and the app feels old. But the core connection is rock solid. Now that you know its real advantage is day-long consistency over headline peaks, the next step is simple. Grab it before prices creep up and stock rotates to models without the right band mix for your area. I put the best current deal and the exact variant I tested in the description. Bottom line. The Huawei E5785 is not flashy, but it is the portable hotspot I actually trust to get work done. Get it if you are a remote worker, student, traveler, RV, or boat user who values stable speeds, long battery life, and dual-band Wi-Fi for multiple devices. Skip it if you truly need 5G class peaks, Ethernet ports, WPA3, or if your carrier depends on bands this model does not cover. Here is what nobody tells you about mobile internet in 2026. The win is not chasing the biggest number on a speed test, it is choosing the box that quietly stays fast all day.